All right, guys, this is MCOGAMER27. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving for tomorrow. Who's ever gonna work tomorrow, or like whoever has off tomorrow. I wish you guys a great one. Be careful, okay? Tomorrow, drive safe. To make sure you guys drive safe when you go to your families, okay, guys? I want everyone to have a safe and blessed one. All right, guys, with that said, today we're playing Star Trek Resurgence, but this is the physical copy. Oh my God, all right, so quickly, guys, I do not support digital downloads. That's just me, because I want to preserve games. So I cannot be a hypocrite. So when this game came out, they said it was not, I repeat, it's not going to have a physical copy. But I know from the past that they always say that, but if the game is successful enough, some company, some publisher will like pick up the game. And guys, so I had to get this game. Well, I didn't actually get it. So quickly, like I said, it came out only digital downloads. I said I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I do not support digital hardware. So I'm a Trekkie, and the Trekkies is a cultural thing. Star Trek is cultural. I lived in Vegas, guys, and I've been a Star Trek fan since I've been a little kid. This world, it is a culture. This is not just a fan-based thing. Not only fans. I mean, people take this dead serious because it's based on real life issues that people go through. Anyway, we could get to, that's a whole other video. What I'm saying is, so one of my friends that is a diehard Trekkie, he said, all right, Jimmy, so like that, you don't feel this way. He bought me the digital copy for me on the Xbox. Because I said, I cannot support it. Now, since he goes, Jim, they're not gonna make they're not gonna make a physical. I'm gonna buy you the digital copy so that you don't feel that you betrayed yourself or like being a hypocrite. I buy the game for you so you could play the game. So I thought about it. I went, and even though I didn't feel right, but yes, I did not give up my integrity in the sense that because I promised myself that I don't want to support digital downloads. But anyway, my friend bought it for me, and I got it on the Xbox digitally. But guys, it's here. A few months later, it took almost, this game's been out, what, 7-8 months now? They got they had a physical copy for the PS5, PS4, and it's funny enough, they didn't make one for the Xbox. It only came out physically for the PS4, PS5. And my God, I pre-ordered it, guys. And now, guys, I tell you what, though, you can't find this game in stores. I don't know what it is. You could get it online. But on rarely stores, I just saw 1 or 2 GameStops have them. But 1 or 2, and that was when it first came out. And now, I even asked, and they said, listen, we're not getting no more physical copies of this game. So I don't know if it was a limited run that they just did, but I see this game going up in price because you can't find it no more. You can find it online still, but even the guy that I know that he's in the gaming industry, he said I don't think they made a lot of these copies, and they're not gonna make a second run. Meaning, like, once they put out certain on certain amount, and if, let's say, the game does good, they reprint them. No, this is gonna be the only printing. I don't know how many they made, but I know it is not a lot because you cannot find this game physically. And I've been blessed that I got this game for the PS5 physical. Anyway, guys, that's enough talk. Let's play. Now let's go settings. Let's see what this has. Motion blur. All right, subtitles. How we do that? All right. All right. Accept. And okay, guys, let's enjoy. Let's play the. I mean, I already played this game completely, but these are the guys that did the Telltale series. A lot of the old developers, and they actually made this company called Dramatic Labs, and now they have their own company, and I can't wait.
Crew is restless.
Now let's see how it runs on the PS5. Because the Xbox Series X ran it good, but sometimes they used to like the audio. But they said they fixed it, so on both. But I haven't played it again since like 7-8 months ago. But like I said, this is the PS5 version, the physical one. The physical version of this game.
Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy. Nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Ryder. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Guys, every trackie that I know from Vegas, and I think that's why they made a physical copy, because the community of this culture, because that's what it is a culture. You know,
Thanks.
These fans that follow this culture, Star Trek, they're loyal.
But these little shuttles are the worst.
Stick around in Starfleet and you'll be sure to see worse than this. I have.
And you're here to talk about it.
In the flesh.
That's good. Sorry, I'm a little anxious.
I hadn't noticed.
I'm on my way to my first assignment.
It looks
When we
good.
get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara.
Guys, I remember when this game launched, man. Our culture, the cult following of Star Trek, because there's not a lot of Star Trek games that come out no more. Back in the day, like back in the early 90s, there was a lot of them. But some of them were good, some of them were not good. This game is actually based on Star Trek. They know what Star Trek is. So these developers, you could tell that they're real fans of this culture. Because that's what I call this. I don't call this a cult following. I call it a culture. Okay, it is looking good, guys. Let's look outside though, guys, first. Okay, so that was the shuttle that we were in.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
And you know, just knowing that I got the disc in there, that the whole game is on the disc too, guys, it feels like, oh, what a relief, man. Mind you guys, you cannot find this game no more. It is hard. I mean, online you could, but not in the
I'm
wild.
not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the academy.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe you've heard of the Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Vintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean, all time. In the history of the academy. So, there's that.
Really? That's quite impressive.
Thank you. It was tough. But you know, I set my mind to it and it paid off.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds. Welcome, Commander Rydek.
Wait, you're Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm really... It's an honor to meet you, Commander. Sorry, I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
The pleasure's mine, Ensign.
Paul Calloway.
Good to meet you.
I believe Commander Ermont is expecting you. He's in the concourse.
Wow, it looks good, guys. Nice and sharp. 4K, of
See you
course,
on the Resolute.
but it runs 4K 30. I don't know why this game can't run at 60 frames though. I don't know. This game could run at 60 frames. On the Xbox Series X, it also runs at 30 frames. 4K 30, like here. On both of them. But this game could run. So I would do 1440p and do 60 frames. I love 60 frames, guys, over 30, but we got to get what we could get. At least it's in 4K. Native 4K, too. This is native 4K. Look how nice it looks, man.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermont is a Bolian, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Oh, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
Starbase 128 has 4 docks. I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board. Excuse me.
There we go.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermont, Operations Officer on the Resolute. Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It was a bit bumpy.
It runs a little different in the sense that it gives you the choices much earlier than versus the Xbox Series X. So on the Series X, he'll say his sentence and then it'll give you the choices. Here, at the middle of the sentence or at the beginning of his sentence, they'll try. You see, they'll give you the choices much more earlier.
You can spare me the flattery, Mr. Ermont. I'm here to work.
That's right. We're here to work.
I'll stick to the matter at hand.
That's right. It's your problem. Look how beautiful, guys. Woo!
USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared to the bigger ships, but as far as science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunctioned. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other. That's what it means to be a crew.
I can't even begin to imagine what that must have been like for you. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It does weigh heavy. There are some things you can't forget.
It's been 6 months. What's the attitude among the crew now?
Unsettled. But I hope that a new mission will help them move forward. If not, move on. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solano for quite some time, and I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake, that he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
Thank you. Always good to have a sense for what you're walking into.
I just thought you ought to know.
I appreciate it.
Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the hotel.
Okay.
Region. I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be
So, of course, this game, for real, your choices make a difference. Because it has so many different endings.
Still so much to do.
Stuck. I got just the thing. That.
The lower decks. Everything looks so cool, man.
I thought the thing was totally fried.
And it did have a 4 gig patch. A 4 gig patch when I installed it right now.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Engineering.
I heard the new XO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovok called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
Orders are orders, Nilly. You know what they say? There are no small missions. Every expedition has a purpose.
Even if we don't know what it is yet. Looks like we got here before.
Well, you feel like if you're like you're in this world, man. Star Trek. Look at the warp core. Look at that. Of course, there's a.
I was beginning to think you would be.
There's a Vulcan here, of course.
We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Etzelar on repeated occasions.
Apologies for the delay, Commander.
I do not want your apologies. Simply see to it that it does not happen again.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. This ship must be ready to depart shortly.
See, this is Star Trek. It has a lot of science.
Are not fully understood, but many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
How concerned should we be about the storm? Are you worried?
Vulcans do not worry. We calculate the variables and take appropriate precautions to mitigate the risk. Right now, that entails making critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes, Commander Chovok. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovok.
Well, the game is running way better than the Series X, but again, that was when it launched, because my friend got it for me when it launched. So I played it the first week it came out.
And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
You gotta have some faith, Nilly. Starfleet Command wouldn't send us out if we weren't ready.
6 months ago, I probably would have said the same thing. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa. Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They seem alright. Something that happened 6 months ago while they were off on another ship? That's nothing to hold against them.
Yeah, you're right. I guess getting a little new blood on board doesn't hurt. Hold on. Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
I'm gonna take the high road here, pretend you didn't say that, and welcome you aboard.
He's a better diplomat than I am.
He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Oh.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleons. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
Didn't we gotta eat now? Didn't she say she was hungry?
Just a sip of something.
Let's have some tea.
Decisions.
Have some tea. It's healthy. Have some tea.
That's lovely.
Jara Rydek. Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The regret is, we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome. The arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare. But, unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
You can spare me the pomp and circumstance. There's plenty of work to be done without all that.
You always had a work ethic like nothing I'd ever seen. That's just what this ship needs at the moment. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I assume you mean the accident.
That's right. The tragic accident, really. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
We all know the risks when we sign up. There are no guarantees. As much as we tell ourselves otherwise.
True. But as captain, my job is to mitigate and manage the risks as much as possible. And that's where I failed. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. Once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
And what happens if they don't?
There's a chain of command for a reason. We all have our orders.
That's true. Everyone on this ship should know that.
Sometimes the occasional reminder doesn't hurt. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
More positive note. Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. Two previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggest it's several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. You'll never guess where it leads.
Hatari.
Exactly.
It looks good. My God, this looks so good.
Where we're headed, where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
But are we prepared to embark on the mission?
As much as I'd like to think that's true, I have my doubts. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave it here. The first 30 minutes of Star Trek Resurgence. If you want to buy this game, you could get it digitally. If you want it physically, that I think you should, because this is a limited run. I will go on the websites and buy it. All right, guys, this is MCO Gamer. Have a blessed day and happy Thanksgiving.